Hey there, in this video I want to talk a little bit about Infiltrator class and about its equipment. All I want to say is just give Infiltrator a hand, or a leg even. And the first thing I want to talk about is scout rifles and how they act on the field. As a Vano, I don't have bullet drop, so I don't have to compensate for that when I equip silencer and increase the bullet drop and everything like that. While the semi-automatic scout rifle is the best one you can have on your Infiltrator, automatic scout rifle, on the other hand, is one of the worst ones. Of course, there are several reasons, but I believe that this scout rifle, this automatic scout rifle, should be more like a side grade to all SMGs, or SMGs should be side grade to Artemis, or Stalker, or SOAS. But the biggest problem with automatic scout rifle is that once you equip silencer on it, your muzzle velocity is cut in half. And here's a good example. PDW's muzzle velocity without silencer is inferior to Artemis, of course. But once you equip silencer on both of them, Artemis's is a little bit slower. But the main idea behind scout rifles is that they are used in distance. Sure, Artemis is automatic, but it has better aim down the sights accuracy and terrible hip fire. Well, compared to SMGs, of course. But tell me, how can you use scout rifle in distance effectively enough if you don't have good muzzle velocity? You might as well just use SMG. All I could ask, I guess, is developers change the muzzle velocity for Nyx and Artemis so it could fit for the role of longer distance shooting. And I think I speak for everyone in community when saying that we want to see stats that will be changed for weapons once certain attachments are equipped, like silencer and forward grip. Okay, then moving on to next issue, the EMP grenade. Sure, it works, but the thing is, Infiltrator class is supposed to be weakest one. It has pretty inferior weapons, well, compared to carbines, LMGs, and assault rifles. EMP grenade helps us at leveling the battlefield because most of the enemies will either have stronger or faster shooting weapons. Therefore we must surprise them, and EMP grenade at least lets us do that. But there's one class that doesn't really get affected by it, and that's heavy assault with its shield. EMP sure drains heavy assault shield if it's not active. But when enemy manages to engage it, EMP has no effect on it. And that, my friends, is extremely unfair. And as a matter of fact, EMP doesn't affect electronic sights, which are 1x, 2x and 3.4 hollow scopes. But anyways, if heavy assault manages to turn on his shield, even element of surprise won't help you to dispatch him. And of course I'm talking about players that are equally skilled. And developers, here's another thing for you to fix, and please do it as fast as possible because it's very annoying and very unfair. So anyways, moving on. And speaking of grenades, how about decoy grenade? I mean, the most useless item in whole Planetside. Sure, the idea is good behind it, but the problem is this is massive warfare and nobody really cares if there's one dot in the map somewhere. But in reality, decoy grenade does completely nothing except that it produces old weapon sounds. So my idea is quite simple. Get rid of decoy grenade and introduce smoke grenade instead. And why, you ask, smoke grenade? Well, it's quite simple, because it's very easy to run in cloak and not be noticed in the cloud of smoke. Plus, as a sniper, you can throw smoke grenade out somewhere on the field and enemies might just look at that instead of you. And this is one of the items I really want to see for my Infiltrator in near future. And of course somebody might disagree with that, so if you disagree, please tell me why. But let's move on to another thing I really want to see in the future for Infiltrator. Vehicle hacking. This subject probably is one of the most disputed one for Infiltrator class at least. Let's take Planetside 1 for example. Vehicle hacking in there was not a big problem. It was quite hard to pull off a good hack. And that was because it took quite a long time and they had alarms when you started hacking. But after I asked opinion of people on the Reddit for vehicle hacking and things like that, there were two general opinions about this. Yeah, it was definitely a good idea and so on and so forth. And no, it's terrible idea, no way. But the problem here is the people who say no to vehicle hacking usually are too attached to their tank or whatever vehicle they happen to be in. But camping in one spot or spawn camping is just a terrible thing and you deserve to be hacked for this. And of course there was one pretty good argument against vehicle hacking, and that was deployed Thunderer hack. But who says Planetside 2 should have Sunderer hacking? You could have vehicle hacking without Sunderer. That's simple. I mean, developers are thinking, so they might do that. But I guess you want to hear argument why there should be actually such thing as vehicle hacking in this game. All infantry classes in Planetside 2 can take out vehicles directly, except for Infiltrator. Heavy Assault, Light Assault, Engineer and Medic. All of those can have C4. Engineer of course can have tank mines. Heavy Assault has its rocket launcher, and Max, obviously it has anti-vehicle weapons. And you might argue that you can take your hacking abilities and hack anti-vehicle turret and kill tanks with that. But come on, that's not really taking out vehicles with your equipment. And the biggest problem is those turrets are not everywhere. But there is one more big reason why should there be vehicle hacking. It simply brings another layer of gameplay for the whole class. Of course, Stalker Cloak gave us new elements to play with, but honestly vehicle hacking would do more. Plus it would be fun to do. And sure, maybe let's not introduce the whole hacking for all vehicles at the same time. How about you developers design simple hacking abilities for like Flash and maybe Harasser to see how it goes. And in time, maybe if it works, then bigger vehicles like tanks and other things. But yeah, this is one of the things I really want to see introduced for Infiltrator. So there my friends, tell me what you think about this whole video and maybe share your opinions on things and subjects I raised. And just in case you can't remember what I said, here's a small recap. First one's a pledge to increase scout rifles muzzle velocity when silenced. Then I mentioned the fact that developers should release the information about attachments. Then I talked about EMP grenade and heavy assault shields that are not disengaging when you're EMP'd, plus electronic scopes. Then I mentioned the idea about replacing decoy grenade with smoke grenade. And finally, the vehicle hacking. And of course, if you like the subjects I raised, be sure to share this, especially with developers.